It's Yerushalmi Demai Daf Kav Ches in the Article Vahad edition. Only we're starting from the beginning of the Mishnah at the bottom of Chav Zayin on base, 2 lines to the bottom, and in the Vilna that is on the Gimel on the base. At the Mishnah as well, along the Gimel. Amatzi Beis B'derech. Somebody who finds food along the way, but not on Lachlon, and he takes some more to eat them. Nimach Latznia decides to stockpile them, to preserve them. You should not put them into storage until he measures them. If you just pick them up at the beginning in order that they shouldn't get lost, then he's part he doesn't take off Chumas Sumaisus on that Demai. Anything which a person is not allowed to sell Demai in the state of Demai, he should not send to his friend as Demai. Rabbi Yossi allows you to sell vadai, but of course, you must let your friend whom you're selling you're sending know that you're sending him to my. Says more. It's not Tani. We learn aim I've been ochlin. If you pass food along the way, you can't just go by it and ignore it. You have to pick it up. That's the cover of the food. Yaakov Bar Zavdi B'Shem Yavo said, that was once upon a time when things were okay in the world. But now you're allowed to pass them by because of potential sorcery and witchcraft involved with this food. Tamani, we went over there. Somebody who turns over a piece of dung, animal dung, in Rishus Harabim, and someone else gets damaged by it. Chayiv b'nisko, you're chayiv on this nezek because you acquired the dung by virtue of you having picked it up, or even having turned it over. In this case, it says here. So therefore, it's not really that you acquired it, but you're responsible for making this bore in the Rishus Harabim with the dung which you turned over and left wherever you left it. So it's not really you have to acquire it, but the very fact you made a bore out of it. Tani, we learned about Suri Mishum Gezo. So even this dung can be also on account of Gezo. That's if when you turn it over, you had in mind that this should be a Maisa Kinyan. You wanted to be Zoicha in it. But you turn it over not having in mind to acquire it, Lobada, then you don't have, then there is no issue of Gezel. When the Zokin, as we just said, in terms of Zokin, lo, the Gra takes out the next word, Bada, lo Shanya. It doesn't make a difference. Like we said a few moments ago, you may not intend to acquire it. The fact that it's, the fact that you're hofechet means you're chayiv on the nezek, which came about as a result. So the Gemara says further, did I read the whole thing here? It's like lo shania ben hafcham naslisko ben hafshlo naslisko spa fuzak man acher chayim nisko. So the Gemara asks now a question. V'achat amar hachein. Here you it seems to be differently. So the Ridbaz says Parkama kahanim asisin tidon the lomali and the zakin chayv afilu b'shlo zorabem. Why by nezek are you chayiv even if you didn't have mind to acquire it? If in our Mishnah you only chayiv to take off the maisus from the mai if you had in mind to acquire it. The notlon lochlon, right? So the Gemara says, Gemara answers. Rabbi Yavin said, "Tamaksiv bala boy yishalim." The person who owns the boy should pay bala nezek yishalim. The person who owns the nezek. I think this is alluding to the Gemara we have in the Bavli, which says, "Two things don't really belong to the person, but the pasuk regards them as if they do, which is a chametz and bor b'shusa rabin." Comments on Pesach, Bor B'Shus Harabim. Comments Pesach to be over by Yura, Bor B'Shus Harabim to Chayim in the Zokin. And that's what it seems to be saying here, perhaps not directly, but it says, Baal Bor Yisham. What do you mean, Baal Bor? He doesn't own the boar is just a rabbin. Bal Nezek Yishalim. Here, whoever created the Nezek, as a Chalei Shem Bailim on the Nezek, so therefore he is Chayiv. But here in our Mishnah, Aser Ta'aser Mishocha. You should take Meiser of your own. I'm sorry. Aser Ta'aser Mishocha Ata Maaser At Maaser Ena Maaser Shalchem. You might suppose that which belongs to you, not that which belongs to others. Says the Rebaz, Mishani Amr Avin Tamaksi Babor Yishlaim Bal Nezek Yishlaim. Besh Babor Bal Nezek Mishosai Nezek Yishlaim. Whether he owns or not, is he can't really own. It's just but the fact he made the Nezek, that makes him obligated. Became the Hifech Ba'asa Nezek, and therefore once he turns over the dung and makes the Nezek, Chayav Yishlaim. That's why Mashkin Hocha Gabi Maisuk Siva Ser Ta'aser. Mishachat Maaser Be'en Maaser Shalacherim. Yeah, it has to be something which belongs to you. By the way, the Radah, in case we didn't know, says that glow is specifically Tzoas Bokar. Continue on. One of the article has the header here. Article header is... No, it's actually the same. Kol Davar She'en Adam Rashal Mokot Mai Lo Shlach Mai. That's the header from the Mishnah. Mida Daka, and what explains Mida Daka She'en Adam Rashal Mokot Mai. We said this way in the past. There's somebody who retails and elbow cannot sell the Mai. Lo Shlach Mai. If you're sending Mida Daka, you should not send it's Mai. Mida Gasa, if you're sending a large measure, Shadam Rashal Mokot Mai Shlach Mai can send his friend Mai as well. Rabbi Yossi Mati Bevadai. Ben Daka Ben Gasa. Doesn't matter if it's wholesale or retailing. Oser Bitmai, but he doesn't allow you he does not allow you to send Dmai. Bodka Oser Bitmai. No, Mati Bai Ben Daka Oser Bitmai Bedaka. So the Dmai Bedaka is also my Begasa you can't send. V'Abushem said Mibnei Gidu Ro. He tirud my begasa. So the Rebaz explains. Rabbi Avob B'Shem Rabbi Yochanan Mibnei Gidu Ro he tirud my begasa. Perish Mishum Tikun Olam Yitim Kol D'mai. When somebody sells me the gasa, it's allowed to sell the Mai Mishum Tikun Olam. Maybe right Mes Nisan. Rabbi Yossi Omer Salitain B'Chulei Kozman Shu Mocher Achasra Potter. As long as you sell a kasra, your potter. He got mita gasa. That's also a mita gasa. It's a kasra, which means that you level off the top. Must be that since people don't usually sell a kasra, so Tokum is not so relevant in it. Okay, so Tanakama, I'll call this Tanakama, Akaso Chaybet Mai, Aminagasa, but must be Tanakama holds that if you sell level off with Mai, you have to take off Chuvas and Meisers, because your profit margin is much higher. Can't see Rambam's out there, Yossi Yochid, Bezev, Chol Mechol. He says that the Rabbit's question is explained, but it's not important for us right now. So, the reason why they allowed you to sell my Begasa is because of Tikkun Olam, which here in the Gemara is called Gidu Ro. I get there. Okay, says more further. Dumas Nisim Rabbi Yossi. This is Rabbi Yossi Omer. This Mishnah. Oh, where's Dumas Nisim in here? Dumas Nisim. We'll just do Humas Nisim. How do you know that? He says, from this following Mishnah, from the following Mishnah, which is at the end of Perek Beis, we can bring a raya that's Minegi Duro. So Rabbi Yossi Omer Salitain to Dumasi, so we saw Salitain was sign of him. If you have baskets of figs and baskets of grapes, kukla shark, and containers of vegetables. Kozman shumocho akasra, as long as you sell akasra, you're potter. In other words, that's what Yibaz is saying. Rabbi Yossi says akasra is potter. The inference is Rabbanan hold that akasra is chayav. So therefore, since Rabbanan hold that akasra is chayav, so therefore it must be that there's no, because the akasra is chayav, because your profit margin is higher, therefore we make you take off the mai. Rabbi Esrog. Shimon said that Rabbi sent him an esrog b'amali. He said to me, "This came to me from Kesarin. Lamati bo shlosh dvarim. I learned from this three things. One, shuvadai, from his message. Shuvadai. Otherwise, why was he telling me that it came from Kesarin? Must he tell me that it's definitely devil? Show tamei. Also that it's tamei because evidently. In the Kesarim, they were not makbid, they shouldn't get wet after it had been severed from the tree, and therefore it was got wet, and there was mukshuk habatum, it came tame. Shelo biyado acher, and he didn't have another one to send me. So now I want to explain these two things. Shu vadai, she pays Kesarim vadai. Things with go Kesarim, definitely tevel. Shu tame, shvayitzel mine. They rinse it with water, so it's mukshuk habatum. Shelo biyado acher, shelo biyado acher, haya maaseh mizelzeh. Had he had another esrog, he would have meistered from one esrog and the other esrog, so that I would not have to be matriach to take off meister. V'yaseh mimenu love. So I didn't take meister from the esrog on itself. So from the fact that he asked the question, it must be that this esrog was not for the mitzvah of the sukkahs, because the sukkahs and esrog, which is chaser, is not about esrog. So it must be a stam and send him an esrog as a fruit during the course of the year. So why taka would he not take off, since it doesn't have to be shalem, because not the sukkahs? So why take off the meiser minegu bay from the esrog? So the fascinating answer. So he says. Do chashash lehadol bar kapara. It's concerned about kapara. Bar kapara mar ein dervim is those mishamim chavreim devarim chaserim. It's not tukabas. It's not appropriate to send to your friend something which is missing a chunk. Okay, it's not derech eretz. So is it not our Mishnah which said this? So he said you can send Vada as long as you tell him. So so the maybe the fact that again the one I was saying. Well, maybe the shlo biyado acher is not true. Maybe he did have another esrog, but he didn't send it because he told him it's vade. As long as he told him it's vade, he could send it to him. So who said he had another esrog? He could have. They didn't have another esrog. He did have another esrog. He could have miced it, but he was relying on Rabbi Yossi. So when it says this comes to teach you on the contrary, Rabbi Yossi never relied on his own shita. But he never sent wherever there was a possibility of meistering. He didn't rely on sending vada and relying on notification. As it says, "I believe in love with uvda kabasei." Him do like his own statement. Yossi boy kumi Rabbi Yasa. So Yossi Zira asked for Rabbi Yossi, "V'lo mipes shemutar mikesarin who?" So the Moshe says, we said in previous parak that Kesarin is exempt from Maisus. So what's the whole business here with this esrog? Amalei v'lo Rebbe hitir Kesarin. He said, thinking historically here, Rebbe was one who said Kesarin's okay. You don't take a Maisus. So Shimon Gamliel couldn't Rebbe Avos. So Shimon Gamliel was in a prior generation, so therefore he was choshesh and had to let him know, etc., etc. And with that, we're at Halacha Dal on Chof Tesamav, so stop here.